Hi everyone, welcome to my summary of learning for EC&I, take 105. Just kidding. Anyways, we're gonna get started with my summary of learning. I think I've got it down to a good solid 10 minutes and let's start. I went old school with my cork board. About halfway through 831, Alec had mentioned about keeping track of your summary of learning. I looked then and decided I gotta start putting stuff on post-it notes, and that's what I did, and I just have added to them. Down here is where, and this actually represents my brain. Not everyone knows that. These are what I kind of started out with in social media and the online classroom. Snapchat, I really just did it for my daughter to keep her streaks. I really didn't do anything with Snapchat. Facebook, I thought I was pretty Facebook friendly. And Instagram, I like looking at posts. A couple of things resonated with me in this class, one of them being when Alec had mentioned about people posting to be heard and to be felt. I'm not one of those posty people that need to be heard and felt, but it has made me more aware and in my daily life about those certain people that post everything going on. Anyways, I'm gonna get started and I'm just gonna add to my brain of what I've learned throughout this class. First of all, my first post-it note, you may not see it, is EC&I 831. At the top it says, say yes to adventure. I have taken 9 in-person master's classes out of 10. This is my 10th and my only one online. I was most hesitant about this class. However, looking back, this is the class that I've learned the most, so thank you in advance. Anyways, I registered for this. I wasn't put on a wait list. I decided that was probably my sign. I thought, can I do it? And just took the plunge. So that is my first post, is actually being on the EC&I 831 adventure. My second post-it is equipment, camera, microphone. I quickly learned that when I went to download a few of the programs that my laptop is outdated, weighs about 25 pounds. My daughter had been the one to get the updated laptop, the MacBook Pro. We often put our kids before our own needs. And so, or the MacBook, whatever it is, it's lighter than mine. Anyways, I quickly learned I couldn't download anything onto my laptop at home. I tried using the iPad, but with our internet and the amount of Wi-Fi that she uses, many calls to SaskTel, it's really hard to do chats on the iPad. I tried my phone at home and decided it would be better just to come to my office. So I would come to my office. My good friend Kathy got me a second monitor installed and a camera, but the microphone doesn't always work on it. So when we would get put into breakout rooms, my microphone didn't work. Plus, being in the office till 8:30 at night, I was the only one in the building, and we're kind of out in the boonies at Sask Polytech at the small building. Yeah, it's always been a struggle for me. So that is really my first struggle, was equipment, and I really questioned myself often what I was gonna do about my equipment. Zoom was kind of my second struggle. I was on a Skype call like years ago, so Zoom was something new for me. However, since even downloading Zoom on my work computer, we've had a few meetings with our dean in Saskatoon that we were able to join through Zoom. So it's been really good. I'll be using that in my fourth year students when I can talk with some of the rural preceptors and just to get feedback on how my students are doing. So I do look forward to using Zoom in the future. One of my first things I set up was my Twitter account, and I think I love Twitter. I use it more than Instagram, more than Facebook. I'm on there kind of browsing through. I always thought it was kind of outdated and old, but actually no. I work at the trauma unit at the General, and the nurses there showed me how they follow stars so we can see if there's going to be a trauma coming in, and I like Twitter. Anyways, on to VSCO and TikTok. These are two social media platforms that I had never actually heard of before. We were in one of our first few classes and we got broken into breakout rooms. I had no idea what a VSCO girl was. I would have thought I was a VSCO girl, but I remember Snapchatting, saying in the group, okay, I just Snapchatted my daughter, she's gonna come and talk to us about VSCO. And she came in and she's got high anxiety. She didn't know she was really talking to my whole class or my group about being a VSCO girl. So not only did I learn about these two things and more about Snapchat, it has also opened up doors of conversation with my daughter that's been difficult when she's a cactus and she's 16. We did talk a little bit about Feedly. I did explore Feedly, but decided not to look at Feedly for my blog. As well as in class, we talked about Flipgrid, and I was able to use Flipgrid, and I do see myself using that in my clinical teaching in a post-conference as well. The Slack community. I have to tell you guys, I feel like I'm graduating kindergarten and not one of you guys, the cool grade 11 or 12 kids. I feel like this is just starting my journey. So the Slack community, although I did access it and have a look at what people's questions are, it's not something that I used a whole lot of. I would ask Lori or Brad, who are other students in my class, or Jessica, I'd ask them for advice just one-to-one, but that was just me. I learned a little bit about time-lapse video. I actually took a time-lapse video of my crocheting. I wasn't able to get it onto my blog, but I did think that was pretty cool as well. I remember one day on Twitter, one of the students commented about how great Wakelet was. So I did use Wakelet, and I found it easier to actually do my blog and add bookmarks through Wakelet and then incorporate them into my blog. Wakelet is something that I will be using in my future clinical practicums. I'm gonna, I'm just gonna make it kind of mandatory within my clinical group to use Wakelet for organizing their med research, pathophysiology, my students, anything that they can incorporate and use in Wakelet. I think that they will find it helpful. The best part about Wakelet is that on Twitter, I commented about Wakelet, and Wakelet actually sent me a little congratulations, welcome to Wakelet. Hello, that's pretty big for me. Throughout our classes, we learned about social activism as well, and I really had to think long and hard about social activism because I feel like social activism, I kind of felt that it was radical at the time, and that but I can see that in online platforms, it can fizzle out quick. You can have tons of support, but if it's not sustainable, then it does fizzle out quick, like the Ice Bucket Challenge or ones like that. Open Education Post-it kind of fell to the wayside. That is throughout. And open education is not something I actually even thought about being used in my nursing teaching, instructing, because we like good old textbooks. We like not so much online. However, it's been good for me to get the students using Nursing Central a little bit more, looking at different pathos, incorporating YouTube videos, looking up everything. So it's been really good teaching, and I do see myself using open online education. Pinterest, I'm going to put down here because I kind of like Pinterest, but I wasn't using it to what I am now. I'm able to share links, which I know seems small to some, but big to me. I created my own online media board, as well as I could incorporate my pins into my blog, which was kind of exciting. Speaking of that, I had many, many light bulb moments. Although it's up top, it was throughout. Mentioning my blog, this is probably what I'm most proud of, is my WordPress blog. I actually just messaged Alec Crows last week and said I'm doing a happy dance in my office right now. Good thing I was alone, because I figured out how to do categories. and Wonder Woman posted for this one. I did figure out finally how to get a YouTube video off of my channel in my own YouTube channel onto my blog. So linking video as well. And I was also able to incorporate GIFs or GIFs, however you say it, which was kind of big for me as well. Not even something I thought about. What does my future hold? Well, I am going to continue on with my crocheting, which is in my digital project. But really, my future is going to continue on with Wakelet. I'm going to do a little look into social activism. I just want to figure out how to make my nursing, instructing, and clinical practice the best through Twitter, through an online blog. I'll keep up with my crocheting blog to make my friends smile every week. And I just want to end that with I Heart EC&I 831.